Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PPR Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Had to power through and get a win, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slog, that's for sure. But I thought the key was the last 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. We really defended, and I thought that Brandon Ingram was the guy who set the tone defensively there, and that's not something that I've been able to say a lot this year, but it's great to be able to say it. We put him on Darius Baisley, who'd been hurting us. He got up into him. He sort of changed our entire disposition. Everybody got involved. We defended really well and opened up enough of a lead that we were able to, hang on to it throughout the second half, even though offensively it was a struggle the entire night. I mean, we were a tired group out there, and, it was a rough night.
Well, it got a little sloppy at the end, but you did a really good job as far as the turnovers. You were in single digits for most of the night, and that's key because you don't want to give a team like that who's struggling offensively some easy buckets on the other end. So you handled the ball much better tonight.
Yeah, better. Yeah, still could be better, but was better. So that's a good thing, yes.
Stan, you talked about Brandon's defense a little bit there. I mean, that's like his standing reach is like 11 feet tall. I'm exaggerating, but like when you just look at, like the frame that he has, like, do you come away thinking like this guy can be a good defender night in and night out?
Yeah, absolutely it can be. And like I said tonight, it was good to see that because, we were in a struggle. I don't know, it was maybe a 6-point game. 8-point game, somewhere in there, 3.5 minutes to go. That whole group of starters got back in there, and I thought he set the tone, and we opened it up defensively and got a, 17-point halftime lead. So,
yeah, speaking about defense, Lonzo's rebounds and steals have been up these past few games. Just what do you think about his activity level as of late, coming back from that hip injury?
Yeah, much, much better. I mean, he's really helped us defensively, and he guards so many different types of guys for us. So, he guarded Lou Dort. He guarded Mihalik. He'll chase guys. He'll guard guys who have the ball in their hands. His rebounding is a major plus. And as you say, he's been more active off the ball, which has been good. So he's been a big boost to us defensively.
I believe you hit on it a little bit yesterday, but Najee had 2 of those makes from 3-point land early on. Just how important is that when they leave them, just being willing to step in and take it confidently?
Yeah, absolutely. With his feet set, that's all he has to do. I like it when he attacks the basket. I like it when he shoots, open threes. In between is where he's still gotta work, but he's a rookie. He's got to work on making the in-between shot and making the plays. But When he can attack and get to the rim, or when he can get his feet set and shoot the three, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, just how good has Billy been, in his role this year, being able to step into the starting lineup, whatever you need him to do, just being able to step up when you need him.
No, he's been great. He keeps himself ready. He's a good offensive player, good hands, knows how to play, can finish plays. Is a great communicator defensively, can rebound the ball. And the one thing we don't need him to do is shoot threes.
Stan, I would normally ask you this at practice, but it's no practice. This was game 82 for Zion. Just briefly, where do you think he's at? Where do you think he still needs to get better?
Well, I mean, all you really got to do is go through and look and see how many guys at his age through their first 82 games have done what he's done. That'll make it pretty simple. He's in I remember Bum Phillips once was asked, a great running back from Texas, Earl Campbell, if he was the best ever. And Bum said, I don't know if he's in a class by himself, but it don't take very long to call the roll. And that's sort of where Zion is among young players and what they've accomplished. Is he the best young guy ever? I don't know. But in that class, it's not going to take you very long to take attendance in there, Christian. So the great Bum Phillips, I haven't quoted him in a while. So that was a good one for me.
Texas,
the great Bum Phillips. The last time I heard.
Well, you see Stan doing his New Orleans studies, huh?
Yeah, let's stay the hell away from Bum Phillips, shall we? Way away
We're
from
going to start talking about Kenny Stabler next, huh?
Oh, my goodness, terrible. But anyway, welcome for all things Pelicans. You're now tuned into the Pelican Post-Game Report Late Show. Big ups to the flock as we're in the building. We're not going to be with y'all too long, family. Doing a recap show, OKC Thunder. The Pelicans, this one, Pelican Post-Game Report, Pelicans Slam Thunder 109-95 on the road to get back on the right side of things.
If we silence the Thunder? I thought we should silence them.
Well, I mean, they've been silenced the entire season. DC. They ain't been making no noise. I mean, they self-silenced. So slamming their asses are probably the most best thing. So thanks
helping them out, though.
We
adding to their thunder.
That you're actually taking away from their thunder. So you're still in their thunder. But with that being said, we like the Pelicans family members to chime on this one. DC, you were watching the game, and
yeah.
Let's talk about this matchup.
This Oklahoma City Thunder matchup turned out to be everything I thought it would be. Basically, the Pelicans went in, they executed, and they did what they had to do to win this game. They didn't play their best game by far, but it's the Thunder. If we would have showed up and played to the level we're capable of playing, we probably would have blew them out by 40 points, just like the Orlando Magic. But I like the fact that they played good as a team. Individually, you look at some statistics and stuff and you're like, nothing really jumps off and impresses you other than Zion. Maybe you get a little happy about BI. But as a team, man, it seemed like they're kind of in a nice little rhythm, playing good together. There was a lot of ball movement, a lot of passing the ball, a lot of unselfishness. They were basically covering for each other on defense. Still see some sloppy play on defense. Too many times guys get easy layups, like they would come down, man, and nobody stops the ball, things like that. But overall, I mean, come on, they held them under 100 points. We got to get the Pelicans props for that. Pelicans cannot guard anything for most of the season, so I don't care if it is the Thunder. To hold them under 100 points is pretty impressive, gauging by what we've seen this team do, and understanding that they're still slightly shorthanded from guys that can help them, guys like Steven Adams, Josh Hart, NAW. Everybody I mentioned is a decent or above average defender. So I liked what I saw tonight. James Johnson showed you why we talk about him so much here, because he he does a lot coming off the bench, man. A lot of times without Josh Hart in NAW, when that guy plays, he's been the best guy off the bench. You can make a case for Najee Marshall as of late, but James Johnson, man, you're seeing the contributions from him. Glad to have him back. That makes me feel good about this Minnesota game we got coming up. And glad to see Zion back to Zion, because the last two games, something looked a little off, man. I mean, he had a 1 rebound game. I know we blowed the Clippers out. He did some things there, but it just was weird to me to see him have 1 rebound and 2 assists. Then he doubled that up with a 2 rebound game the next game and 21 points, and the infamous his great play by Jokic that everybody's saying and acting like Zion ain't got fouled. It was making me sick hearing that today. Oh, Jokic makes a great block in the clutch. So y'all just gonna act like he ain't foul this man hand. Like all these pussy ass people scared to talk up and see what really happened. They gonna get fined for saying that the referees fouled him on the sports talk show too. Like it's crazy, man. But anyway, Zion returned to form tonight. Very impressed with his game, man. Looked under control, unstoppable. And he did a great job of running the offense through him and facilitating for his teammates.
Yeah, a lot to be proud of. I was monitoring the game on my second screen as we were doing the draft, and I was kind of going back and forth monitoring what's going on with the draft, and also, but most importantly, I had the Pelicans on, watching them play, and I noticed, a lot of positive things about the Pelicans. They had 45 of 101 attempts versus what the OKC had, which was pretty much 89 attempts, 34 of them which was completed. So I mean, it's really, and then of course they weren't that good from downtown, 5 of 29 for 17% from the 3-point line. But they did hit 14 of 19 for just under 74% from the charity stripe. So I mean, they had some pretty commendable things, and then more importantly, before I put the team statistics on the screen, they kept their turnovers way down in this one, DC. Only 12 turnovers while forcing OKC to commit 22 turnovers. So, I mean, that's pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Plus, they whooped the hell out of OKC in the paint by 20 points, 64-44. So, I mean, it's a lot to be said about how the Pelicans played. Now, of course, this team was without Horford. It was against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, two of their better players, as they're trying to play for lottery spots in attempt to improve their team, that kind of way. But the Pelicans needed this medicine win in like the Orlando Magic game against OKC. This is medicine game. Of course, they'll have a little bit harder challenge to go against the Minnesota Vikings. We'll preview that game as well in a few minutes once we go over the statistics from this one. But a lot of positive things to be said for DC. The fact that James Johnson returned in this matchup as well, as he came back to the bench. He played 21 minutes tonight and had a pretty decent out and 12 points off the bench to help out KLJ. Still struggling a little bit in the matchup. And, of course, Zion and B.I. was the top dogs in this thing. But it's really interesting to see how it all shapes out, man, with the Pelicans. So they just have to keep plugging away. Let's move into the team statistics. Like I said, Fallon will break down the team statistics. As you can see, 45 of 101 with the Pelicans, 45 out of 101 attempts by the Pelicans versus 34 of 89 by OKC. They shot over 44.6%. OKC 38.2%. Like you see this ugly number from downtown, 5 of 29 for 17%. Versus 11 of 39 for 28% by OKC. From the 3-point line, 14 of 19 from the charity stripe versus 16 of 20. Rebounds, 56-23 advantage Pelicans. As you can see, assists, Pelicans, 26 assists versus 18 on the night. And hold on, let me see if I can share the screen and see if I can share the screen. There we go. With the family, there we go. All right, so with that being said, as you can see, the steals, the Pelicans 11-6 on the steals, 1 there, 6-4 on the blocks, 1 there, 12 turnovers, which was the big thing. The Pelicans were able to keep the turnovers down tonight, 13 points off of turnovers. while forcing OKC to commit 22 turnovers, getting in, of course, 23 points off those turnovers. Destroyed them with the points in the paint, 64-44. And of course, as you can see, the largest lead was by 20, and Thunder had it for a little bit by 4. So DC, so you can see the team statistics. Obviously, to me, I like the fact that they did shoot a respectable 44.6 from the field, ugly
Right.
17% from downtown. But really, if you look at the fast break, the points in the paint, 20-point swing there, advantage there for the Pelicans, and 12 turnovers there is pretty commendable. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the key to it right there. You're looking at it, 12 to 22 turnovers, man. Those steals cost them, and they also dominated the paint, 64-44. Pelicans got back to doing what they do. Had an ugly shooting night, but they was able to make it happen, man. They didn't really hit a lot of threes, but they didn't take a lot. They normally would get close to around 40, shoot 35 of them. They calmed it down a little bit once they saw they weren't going in, and they handled business, man. This win was a little weird. It wasn't super impressive. It was kind of they showed like how they was off the other game and turning the ball over. They weren't really turning it over today, but they showed like just being out of sync at moments, man. And the play was it was a little rough, but they made it happen, man. They was missing, but they continued to get their rebounds. They started getting a lot of offensive rebounds in the second half of the game. Earlier, the Thunder were actually dominating them on the offensive rebounds early in the game, but the Pelicans weren't missing as many shots either. They got off to a good start in that second quarter, man, and kind of turned it up to continue what they already did in the first quarter. And they basically finished this game out, man. They never really let the Thunder get into the game or never really let them feel that they actually had a chance at winning. Even though they made some plays, Jackson Hayes got dunked on tonight. Didn't feel good about that one. But all in all, man, the Pelicans had a good night, man. It was a good team win. They did what they needed to do, handle business.
Individuals, Zion Williamson and BI working together in this one. Zion had 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in the matchup in 34 minutes, 12 of 24 from the field, 3 or 4 from the charity stripe. BI, 24 points, 31 minutes, 50% shoot from the field, 10 of 20, 1 of 5 from downtown, not so good, 3 or 4 from the charity stripe, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists by BI. Next scorer is Billy Hernan Gomez, had 13 points and 10 rebounds. He had a couple of steals in the matchup in 29 minutes, double-double from Billy Hernan Gomez on the efficient 5 of 8 shooting from the field, 3 or 4 from the free throw line. Always good to have Billy Hernan Gomez stepping in there and play. If something happens to Steven Jackson, we can bench Steven Jackson if we need to for as long as we need to. Billy Hernan Gomez is going to come in there. He's not exactly the defensive dynamo that Steven Adams is, but he does give you an offensive advantage. He's really intelligent, big guy as well. So, I mean, it helps to have him and Jackson Hayes, I tell you what. And, of course, our backcourt struggled in this one. Between the both of them, only 13 points from both the B&B boys, Lonzo Ball and Eric Bledsoe, despite the fact that both of those guys played 62 minutes. They just contributed 13 points as a whole in the matchup, as Bledsoe was 3 of 8 from the field, 0 for 4 from downtown. He finished with 7 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Lonzo, 6 points. But though he had 10 rebounds, he 6 assists, 6 points, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, 32 minutes, trip 12 from the field, 0 of 8 from downtown for Lonzo. Struggled in this one.
3 steals too, bro.
Yeah, 3 steals. Defensively, he was there. Offensively, he was struggled, but you can see his defense and, of course, his ability to go and get the rebounds. So he struggled on the offensive end, but his defense was there to help out as well. Then off the bench, you see 12 points from James Johnson, returning to a more sterner role in 21 minutes, 5-11 from the field. He hit a couple of 3-pointers, 2 of 5 from downtown, 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals from James Johnson. And, of course, 2 8-point scorers in Najee Marshall in 23 minutes, had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists from Najee, 8 points from Jackson Hayes and 7 rebounds from Jackson with 2 blocks in the matchup in 19 minutes of action. KLJ struggled in this one in 18 minutes, only 4 points and 2 assists, 1 steal. And you've seen Wenyen Gabriel in some garbage time action, only 4 minutes, just collected 2 rebounds and 1 block in the matchup that was positive. So with that being said, the top scores for the Thunder was, of course, Lou Dort, who put up 17 points, 15 from Blasey, 16 from Maladine. Not enough. Pelicans defense were able to stifle them. Like I said, it was an overwhelmingly impressive win, but nonetheless is a win. Pelicans are 28-35 moving forward. DC individual before we transfer to the Timberwolves breakdown.
Man, Bi and Zion, man, the only two people I want to go over. I guess you could do a short mention for James Johnson. He was also very impressive too, and kind of bailed us out a lot of times when we needed buckets or when things were breaking down. I noticed that he would take over and probably make a play or take a shot. So it was interesting to see that, and kind of forgot that he had that type of confidence, and just I guess people trust him that much already this early. But that was good to see. But Bi, man, thought he played well. Continuing that efficient stretch that he's going through. I'm liking the decisiveness, man. He was killing them with that mid range. They found a sweet spot on the elbow where Bi would come off a pick or a screen or the little dribble handoff, and the center wouldn't come out. And he kept nailing shot after shot from right there, man. Alonzo got a couple of them too. So it was good to see the Pelicans executing, finding something that's working and sticking to it. And Bi was beneficiary of that. Zion was doing Zion-like things, man. Finishing at the rim as usual. Tonight he was getting fouled, and he wasn't calling a lot of them. Zion was actually a little more demonstrative tonight. He was actually stopping and not walking down and holding his hands out, talking to the refs and stuff. So he's trying to enforce himself a little bit more to get some calls. He would go up against three people and they would clearly foul him, man. They just wouldn't call it. But as the game went on, you could tell he was just like the hell with it, and he was just finishing through contact, man. Had an excellent game tonight. Was drawing the guys in, and he facilitated well tonight too. Kind of cut down on those turnovers, like he's having the past couple of games. But you can't really critique Zion too much, man. An off game for Zion was still 21 points. You know what I'm saying? And tonight he did his thing, man. He probably could have dropped more, but it wasn't necessary. So he gave you a quick little 27, 8, and 6. Love what I saw tonight from him. Best guy on the court.
Yeah, and that's a part of it too, DC, because we got to keep this up, man. And I'm gonna show the schedule and the standings once we get through the Minnesota matchup, because these are the games where it's coming down to. Because really, you're now 3 games chasing for the playoffs, the play-in spot. But really, realistically speaking, the Pelicans have more than enough contests, and we're in control of our destiny, despite all of the shenanigans that we betrayed through this very topsy-turvy season that we've been undergoing. And what I mean by that is quite simply, Golden State Warrior 3 games with them, 1 with Dallas, 1 with the Lakers. You got Memphis. So these teams that we have in the remaining 10 games, I think it is, all those teams are ahead of us in the standings. And with wins over them, you can climb into this thing, and if you do it right, and we're able to win the bulk of these games, we can really set ourselves in a good footing. So, like I said,
Golden State lost again tonight, bro.
Golden State
acting like they don't want it, bro.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And the Pelicans really need to keep doing what they're doing. Now we can have a streak here. We got a Minnesota club that we're about to preview. That's the next on the docket that we got to look out for. As you can see, let's go over that. Zion Williamson averaging just under 27 points a game with 61.6% from the field. And yeah, and Edwards is the man for them, man. 18.3 points per game. Fantastic rookie, man. He's everything and then some.
Rookie of the year right there, bro.
Excellent player. Excellent. And then, of course, you look at Steven Adams as our top rebounder. They got young Vanderbilt, 5.5. I'll check on that. Should be Big Cat. Assists is Lonzo, just under 6 per game. Rubio, 6.5. Plays really well with Minnesota with his slinky style of play. Really helps out getting them the ball and hitting open threes, and pretty interesting. Let's look at
he kind of killed us last time we played.
Yeah, he sets it up. He's very underrated. You got to watch him, man. He sets those players up pretty nicely. Pelicans, Steven Adams is day to day. We can afford to sit him down and rest him. Jackson Hayes, and we can even much roll out Jackson and with Billy Hernan Gomez if Steven Adams can't go. Minnesota's guys, Malik Beasley is out, and Jared Culver is listed as out as well. You look at the statistics. Pelicans 115 a game, giving up 115.1, 48.3 on the field, just under 47% for the rebounds, 26.1 on the assists, 4.3 blocks, 7.5 on the steals. Pelicans just coming off that win. And of course, they're 4-6 the last 10. Minnesota can score 110.6 while giving up 117.3, 45.5 on the field goal percentage, 43 flat on the rebounds, 25.1, 5.5 on the blocks, 8.8 on the steals. Winners of 4 in a row. That is correct. 4 games in a row. They beat Utah twice, Houston, and Golden State. They are 4 in a row right now. So this is a hot Timberwolves team that's getting healthy late. They're 6-4 the last 10 contests. And of course, as you can see, the Pelicans lost both previous matchups to the Timberwolves, 120 to 110 in the first one, 135 to 105. The Pelicans must claim this victory. As you can see them in the cellar, the winners of 4 in a row, and one of 2 teams that are hot. Now we're going to Minnesota to take on this team, and their overall record is 20-44. Let's look at the overall statistics of who's on this team. You see Anthony Edwards, they're saying he's the top scorer, even though Big Cat is the top man, averaging almost 25 points a contest with just under 11 rebounds a game for Big Cat. And then, of course, Beasley, who's out, Russell, D'Angelo Russell, who's a baller in his own right, 19.4 points a game with 5.2 on the assist. And Anthony Edwards is absolutely fantastic. In 31.5 minutes per game, he's averaging 18.3. Scoring 4.6 on the rebounds and almost 3 assists a contest. He was actually fantastic. Naz Reid is a guy you got to watch out. Always sees the ball against the Pelicans in the 2 previous meetings. Ricky Rubio, even though Rubio's not talked about much with his slow game, 26 minutes, he averages 8 points a contest. He hits those open threes, and he dishes the ball at 6.5, and he's the assist leader for the team. So Ricky Rubio is another guy who you got to watch out for. He's also the top assister and the top stealer on the team. So you got to watch out for him as well. And, of course, let's look at the Minnesota Timberwolves depth chart as it stands. It's Ricky Rubio, Anthony Edwards, Josh Okogie, Jaden McDaniels, and Big Cat are lined up there. And then off the bench, you see D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench there. Juancho Hernan Gomez, which is Billy's brother. Nash Reed always plays well against the Pelicans as well. And
Jared Vanderbilt gave us a game last time too.
Vanderbilt, and also you got to look out for what's his name? Noel. Noel is somebody you got to watch out for. But anyway, DC, look like they were going to be working with having a lot of the talent at the back. They got D'Angelo back. They saying Rubio starts at bringing D'Angelo off the bench. Even though Rubio averages 25 minutes, D'Angelo comes off the bench but plays heavy minutes for them as well. And Okogie is another interesting player, but Russell, Edwards, and Big Cat are the future of this Minnesota Timberwolves. They are hot right now. The Pelicans going to have quite the challenge going into Minnesota and knocking them down. What do you think about this?
Yeah, man. This to me, I sound a little crazy when I say this, but it almost reminds me of playing the Denver squad, man. When you look at them, they got a lot of guys that might not necessarily be household names, but they got some guys with some talent, man, that come off the bench and give you something. And then they got D'Angelo coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Edwards is coming on. He's 18 points a game now, but I mean, it's been lower than that, early in the season. So obviously he's probably scoring around maybe 20, 25 points a game right now. So you got Karl Anthony Towns back. Probably extremely happy to be playing ball again. He's went so long without being able to play. So he always gave us problems even when AD was here. He gave us a couple of 40 bombs. So, man, you got a lot to look out for. Ricky Rubio tore us up last time we played them. They was running that 2-man game with the pick and roll. We could not stop it to save our life. This ain't going to be no easy out. I mean, I understand this is a team that only has 20 wins, but they didn't found something. They figured something out as far as how they want to play, who they want to play with, their lineups, whatever you want to call it, team chemistry, the rookie finally coming into his own. Whatever you want to call it, man, they didn't figure something out. Winners of 4 in a row, and to me, it's very similar to the Denver Nuggets, man, how we need to play them and look at being able to stop them. You got two guys that's making everything go, and Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards right now. D'Angelo Russell ain't nothing to sneeze at either. And we ought to be happy that Malik Beasley ain't playing too. So we got that out the way. And then also we got to figure out how to neutralize Naj Reid too when he comes off the bench, because he's going to give him some points too. He was actually playing pretty good against us as the starting center when Karl Anthony Towns was out. So we got our hands full with this one, man. But first and foremost, you got to go ahead and lock up Karl Anthony Towns if that's possible. Seems a little bit similar to the Joker. You might have to let him do him, just try to minimize it. You can't let Anthony Edwards get going. And please don't let him posterize nobody, because that just make the crowd go crazy, or whatever little people they got there. The team will go crazy just seeing him do that. Very athletic guy. He can shoot a little bit, but if you had to pick your poison with him, I wouldn't let him penetrate and I'd force him into all jump shots. So then you got the Ricky Rubio thing. You know what he wants to do, wants to facilitate. So you turn Ricky Rubio into a scorer, force him to shoot. And you might have something, man, if you can do those things.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one, man. To say the least, between the Pelicans and the Timberwolves. But the Pelicans have to understand that everything here has to happen. Hopefully, it's a different mentality as May turns around. As you are from officially starting in May. May 1st, which will be which was that? What day is that? Sunday. I want to say that Sunday they meet with them. Hold on, let me check my calendar right quick, DC, make sure that's accurate. I think it's Sunday when they match up against them. But anyway, hold on here. Yep, no, it's Saturday. Okay, so this upcoming Saturday. So yeah, 7 p.m. So it's May Day, and the truth is the Pelicans have to take every game serious moving forward, because 10 games remaining and everything stops for the Pelicans come the 16th of May. So we got the schedule right here on tip, as you can see, the bottom portion right here, starting from under here to here. May 1st, Minnesota. And of course, you see the final day, May the 16th, against the Lakers. And Minnesota is the first one. Then, of course, 2 home games, Monday and Tuesday, back-to-back matchups against Golden State. We've got to get these matchups. We got to beat them the majority of the days. Hopefully they keep losing, and then we can take those 2 matchups from them right there. Then we hit the road for a tough stretch of games. We got 5 straight road games, starting with Philadelphia. We got Charlotte and Memphis, who's in the hunt. Memphis is in the hunt. We got Philly, who's going to be tough. Charlotte, just kind of going through the motions. You got Dallas as well there. Memphis, Dallas, and Golden State, and the Lakers all ahead of you in the playoff race, which that's why I'm saying you control your own destiny. We've got to take the bulk of these games. Golden State games, we got to win. We got to top Memphis. We got to beat Dallas. And we got to knock off the Lakers, who I think they'll be resting a lot of their people for this matchup. So the Pelicans have got to take out of the last, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. 9 games remaining. They've got to win. They've got to switch the mentality from the lackadaisical up and down performances that we're accustomed to seeing, to putting streaks together to get themselves in position so they can have the plan. So they hold it in their hands, and we'll see if they can get that done. As we flash to the NBA standings, DC, you can see where they are. You see Utah at the top, followed by Phoenix, the Clippers, Denver, the Lakers, and then you see the Mavericks there at 6, and then, of course, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You see who's there. Trailblazers are there. Trailblazers are starting to win again. They've won 2 in a row. Memphis have lost 2 in a row. Golden State has lost 2 in a row. San Antonio's also lost. So you're seeing the teams between 7 and 10, except for Portland, are having a bit of an issue. The Pelicans need to start picking it up as soon as possible, as they win this one. They're 4-6 the last 10. And as you can see right here, they're currently 3 games back here behind Golden State for the climb into that play-in spot. So you got 3 games against Golden State. You got Memphis. You've got matchups against Dallas and the Lakers, all of which are ahead of you. You control your destiny. 9 games left. We get the bulk of these games. We handle business. We get into the play-ins. Ultimately, into the playoffs is the big thing. DC, thought process on the remaining schedule and the standings, and then we'll close out.
I believe it's right where we wanted, man. Based on the season, all the ups and downs we had, the injuries we faced in the latter part of the season, and for us to have a chance right now with all the disappointments that we've been through and all the, losing our mind we've been going through watching this team because we can see they're extremely talented and they're underachieving. They got a chance to make up for all of that, man. Because I mean, if they can go in and go on this stretch and maybe win about 8 of these games out of these 9, man, I got to give them a little cushion, at least lose one. Hopefully, you would want them to go 9-0, but you know, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that with Philly and Dallas there, and the Lakers. The Lakers might actually be playing for something too, because they're a few games from falling into the plan and not having a secure playoff spot themselves. So, um, very, very good chance for the Pelicans to be able to make it. They got their destiny in their own hands. With everything that they've been through, they it's right for the taking still. All the times we let things fall through our hands, we can make up for all of that, man. And it's something as simple as beating the Golden State Warriors 3 times. Because even if we don't go 9-0, let's just say Golden State falls off a cliff, or San Antonio does. Um, if you handle your business for the most part, you ensure yourself a play-in and a chance to possibly be able to get into the playoffs. So if the Pelicans make it to the play-in and they don't make it to the playoffs, I still would say the season is a success because they're playing in meaningful games. And ain't that what David Griffin said we was gonna do? We lost a lot, and for us to be able to have a chance to do this, if they can pull it off, I would be happy with that.
Yeah, and that's a major part of it is relevancy, and that's what it all comes down to. You have to be relevant. That's why Griffin was brought here to get this team into the playoffs. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to hear all this fancy razzmatazz talk. We've got to get the team in the playoffs, and nothing else. It's all a failure if we don't get that to happen with the 2 All-Stars that we have and the stuff. And once they play in meaningful action, I think ultimately it
What
kicks
what
the
what
team.
you what you called it? Razzmatazz talk? What's that?
Razzmatazz, fancy razzmatazz.
What's razzmatazz?
That's what Griffin tries to do. He tries to, uh, dumbfound you with all of the nonsensical bull job that he likes to do. But really, at the end of the day, people want to see
So
the
if
result.
we don't make the playoffs,
If you don't make the
you,
playoffs,
you consider the season a failure?
that's exactly right. He was brought. You don't go as far as to go and make a switch for a general manager to keep missing the playoffs. There wasn't that
I
far.
mean, I
There
mean, no,
wasn't that
but
far. Hold on, DC. There wasn't that far off before. You had issues with a coach that didn't know what he was doing. So I mean, and of course, there was a separation and divide between the general manager and the coach. General manager, and then if you look at how the Pelicans are currently constructed, he does have the experience better than the last several general managers you had. He does. He's more accomplished than any of those guys. He has that track record. But when you have a team with 2 All-Stars, and I know BI wasn't an All-Star officially this year, but his numbers were All-Star-esque. So with that being said, and Lonzo Ball's numbers are a lot better than he's played at in his young NBA career. And then the moves that they're making, this team is most certainly got to get into the play-ins. Ain't no doubt about it. You
can
have
you
9.
can you name a point in basketball history, Big Q, where you have a franchise that loses their best player, then arguably their second, third best player in the trade, and you don't get equal value in return, and they just come out and make the playoffs in the middle of a rebuild where you were, sad enough to have a number 1 draft pick.
Yes.
No, I'm saying it's not a yes or no. I said name me a team or two
The New
that,
Orleans
that did
Pelicans.
that. No, a team that went through that and then they immediately just went to the playoffs.
The New Orleans Pelicans of 2021.
They didn't go to the playoffs though.
I'm naming you the team.
They didn't go to the playoffs.
The New Orleans Pelicans of 2021.
That's future. That's now you acting like David Griffin. That's future speak.
That is
Your razzmatazz. Future
That's
speak.
not razzmatazz, sir. I'm not drawing
I
razzmatazz.
said history. I ain't saying nothing about future speak.
I'm giving you the history. I'm speaking to you.
All right, you doing your affirmations. All right, I'm gonna let you go, bro.
I'm telling you,
I ain't got time to deal with you tonight.
the New Orleans Pelicans of 2021.
All right, we're gonna go with that. I like that answer.
All right, there you
How
go.
about that? Yeah.
You got hard head. I told him
You
3
wasn't
times.
gonna have it
Man.
no other way, and I ain't got time to argue.
I told him, man, 3 times. He asked me the question. I told him.
I asked you about history. This man started telling me premonitions and
This
prophecies.
is history. This has happened. You just didn't realize it already.
Okay.
This guy here, man.
What day? What's the date?
Don't worry about none of that. Just understand it's already happened.
All right, brother.
All right? That's enough of that. All right, so with that being said,
Lucky in my team, bro. I can't argue against that.
You can't argue about it at all, bro. It's reality. You and I both know that this team will make the playoffs. You know, and I both know that. I'm on record saying it from the floor up, from the floor up, that last year I told you they was a playoff team if it wasn't for the failures of the head coach and his inability to reach those players because he was undisciplined. This time around, you have a coach that does have the principles, but he has communication issues. But what I'm saying why the team gets there is quite simple. Once they get a taste of meaningful play, I think they'll like it and gel together, and then they'll thirst for more. That's why I see them as you need a central point where the team will gel in meaningful games and meaningful action, where they're all cemented into this minds. Okay, now that the heat is on the team because you have a focal and localized window, which you have to, okay, we got to win this many games. And they see it before you. It's like, okay, 9 games, you've got to get this to get this. And I think ultimately they understand that because they see it and we can be able to actually make that a reality. So the New Orleans Pelicans of 2021, DC, thank you for your question.
All right, so, Big Q, Sean Payton, Griffin.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to step on that. I like to think. I'd like to thank all the family members for chiming in on this episode of the Pelican Post Game Report.
DJ said, "Don't forget about Didi."
Of course not, DJ. You can't never forget about the last man on the bench. Thank you, DJ.
Boy, DJ gonna make sure we know the full squad. I appreciate DJ for that, boy. DJ had me doing my research on these undrafted guys. That's when I found out I like Najee Marshall.
I got to find that show where you got on. You had the nerve to try to slam DJ. That show when DJ was asking you about Najee Marshall and all that?
No. I like Najee Marshall when we first got him. He asked me about it wasn't Najee Marshall. He asked me about it was another guy we had. It might have been Will Magny. Now it wasn't Reddishes. I ain't hungry right now.
He was telling you about Magny. He was telling you about
Najee. It might have been Will Magny. I agree with him on that.
He was telling you about all of them though.
I knew about Najee Marshall. I know about Najee Marshall when we got him.
Boy, DC.
I didn't know about Will Magny. DJ corrected me on Will Magny.
DC got them goddamn Michael Jackson moonwalking shoes on with the slick bottoms, where he could just moonwalk right out of some bullshit, right up out of that.
Just did the George Bush double speak a little while ago.
Bush.
Yeah,
that was double speak. I told you.
Man, that was double speak, man.
Q, what team you know lost and didn't get fair value?
How you just gonna jump over? I said, name me a few teams in NBA history. Keyword history.
And I told you.
History. You told me future speak.
I told you the New Orleans Pelicans.
You double speak, talking future speak, and trying to make it in the past tense and in the present day all at the same time.
I told you in the present time, it's the New Orleans Pelicans.
You see what I'm saying?
I was just telling you.
You ought to be a goddamn politician because that's what they do too. They sit up there and speak that bullshit and just look at your stone face like everything they're saying makes sense.
I mean, it does. You just didn't get it yet, sir.
Just looking to the camera like you.
Yeah, just do that. Just go like this. The New Orleans Pelicans of 2021. Just do that. Just say New Orleans Pelicans of 2021. DC, go ahead.
I'm going to let my heavy-handed moderator speak.
What heavy-handed moderators?
You.
All right, so with that being said, I'd like to thank the family members for chiming in. We shall be back.
They say Big Q got a DeLorean in the garage.
Yo, I mean, that's DC got the DeLorean. Hey,
let me find out you got a head full of white hair and a goddamn hat.
Say, bro. You know, DC, what rhymes with DeLorean?
Huh?
What rhymes with DeLorean?
What you mean? What rhymes with DeLorean?
Remember Never mind. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know, remember what I always kid you about?
No, I don't.
you know. All right. So with that being said, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for the show. I appreciate y'all for chiming in, man. As well, big ups to the rest of the family.
Appreciate the
Thank y'all for joining us
flockers,
today.
man.
We'll be back on Saturday with the recap show of the Pelicans as they take on the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7. This is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a busy day for us as well because the NFL draft will be happening
overtime with these Saints, huh?
12. It finished up. It should be over around about 5 o'clock, and then of course the Pelicans game kick off at 7, and then it'll be over around 9. So we'll be right back on schedule. So of course we'll be back for the Saints. It's the Sports Coma tomorrow for rounds 2 through 3 for the Saints. Full summation of the time Friday night, and then of course Saturday at 12 the rounds 4 through 7. Then later on that day the Pelican post game report as well. So with that being said, I'd like to thank all of you guys for being here. DC, phrase that pays, or you want me to do it?
I'm gonna let you go ahead and take it tonight. But I got a special request.
No.
Wait, you don't even know what the request is yet.
I know. I could say no, right?
Damn, I ain't even.
You gonna ask me? You gonna say Miss Benson? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I want him as Benson. I love Big Q. Excellent show. You do a great job, bro. Love working with you. But I want him as Benson close it out tonight.
So you don't hear her says? Well,
I want him as Benson say the whole phrase and close it out.
Oh man, that's tough, bro.
What you mean, man?
Because
Miss Benson could stand up there and do a whole commercial on the vaccine. She could close out the show.
She just started to learn how to say stop hating.
Well, let her close out the show however she wants then. How about that?
All right. Okay, Miss Benson takes over. Miss Benson, would you close out the show? And here goes Miss Benson.
All right.
She said she's gonna do it. All right, Miss Benson.
All right. Miss Benson, y'all, coming to close out the show. I want y'all to give a round of applause for Miss Benson.
I can't do the whole damn thing, bro. It's too funny, bro. I'll be laughing the whole damn way through it. All right, let me see if I can make this work, man. DC with these crazy requests, man. All right. Okay, let me get in character,
Benson,
bro.
you need me to throw your alley-oop? She need a little help.
No, it's just me saying it like I said. How I'm gonna say Miss Benson's with a New York accent? That'd be all kind of ways screwed up.
Baby, let me tell you.
Oh, let's see. All right.
You better get out of here.
All right, let's see.
All right, family. If
Let's see, I can't do it. It's crazy. It's too much.
If they talk about your Pelicans and they say to you, if they're talking about your Pelicans and you're talking bad about them, you tell them in a New York accent to get the flock out of here and go flock yourselves. And you better get out of here. You better get out of here. You better stop hating. And you better get out of here.
Thank you, Miss Benson. Appreciate it.
All right, Miss Benson. Thank you, Miss Benson. That's such a wonderful lady.
Oh, she's excellent, bro. I love Miss Benson. All right, fam. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all later, man. Much love to y'all. DC, good show. You get you some rest, and I'm all at you later,
All right, my brother.
Peace out.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report.